Everybody's moist. Moist. Hi, everybody. It's Christina. It is Saturday night, right? It's Saturday night. I'm so used to saying Monday. It's Saturday night, and it's time for a quickie with Vox. I'm not going to use that. We're not going to use that as a tagline. We're not going to do that. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I know everyone in the Always Hilarious chat is so excited because we have tonight the EP premiere of one of my favorite humans in the entire universe and one of my favorite musicians. I think we should bring this paragon of ego and arrogance and full social media blitz preparedness on screen now so that everyone can see him. Where is Richie Warwick? There he is. Look at him.
Hey, guys.
Look at him. Look how arrogant and full of himself he looks. He's just cock of the walk or something. Richie's like the nicest guy ever. We're like, we're ready to start. And Greg says to me, "Does Richie have a link tree?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I messaged Richie and I'm like, "Do you have a link tree?" He's like, "I don't know." Richie now has a link tree. We're going to show that later. Look who's here. We got Tom. We got Eric Barker's here. We got Joey from Freaky Things. Dre, Entropy in Motion. Look at this. Who did I miss? I'm sure I missed people. Mike from Mechanic A. And I saw a Steve. There must be a Steve here. Which Steve is it? Is it Steve Klatt?
Hey,
is it Stephen Burlos? Who's Steve? Craig from 3 Bravo here for the quickie. All right, guys. Yep, there's Stephen. Hello, sweetheart. Okay. So, Richie Warwick, you have decided to put out an EP. Hi, Tracy. Subtleties here, honey. Don't squirrel me. Don't do this again. I'm going to talk to Richie now. Okay? Stop pushing the button. Richie, you decided to put out an EP that doesn't have a title.
I'm not good with titles. The cover of this is Catherine, my wife, is a photographer. She took this picture a while back, and every time I see it, I'm just kind of drawn to it for whatever reason. It just seems relaxing. So,
yeah, it's beautiful. Do you have the cover, honey, to show everybody what we're talking about? Or do we not have that
I will when the song
starts. Okay, yeah. I still say No Egrets would have been a perfectly good EP title, but that's fine. We don't have to. You'll know when you see it. So we're you know what? I'm not going to make people wait too long. Just a little bit though, because I'm so excited about this for Quickie Warwick. Trey, that's really good. He's so funny. Quickie Warwick. Well, now that's it. That's, to me, that's headcanon now. That's the name of the album. But so Richie, you started working on this a while ago. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about the backstory of just putting it together in the first place? Because I know that your albums are always like
a couple of years ago, I tried to make a commitment to myself to release something about every 6 months, whether that be a single or an EP or an album. A full album, I think, is kind of overreaching for me. But the last one I put out, I think it was in March, and I may have started working on this one maybe about a month later.
Yeah, it was not that long ago, actually. It was right around the time you and I started talking a lot more, I think. So that sounds about right to me. Like, you know, like not even 6 months, I don't think. And I just Richie has heard me talk too much. I mean, in general, but also about his music. But you know, Richie is on in this house a lot between Greg and me. And as I've said before, you know, Greg will come home from, you know, his Sunday meeting that he always has, and he'll be like, "I was listening to Richie in the car again, and this time I heard," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So we want everyone to listen to the whole discography because it's completely worth it. But this new one, did you know the songs you were going to put on it at the beginning? Is it just the 4 that you felt fit? Yeah, you just kind of, look at that brand spanking new link tree. Look at that. You guys can find it. We're still building it, but it does exist.
Thank you. No, when I sit down to write something, everything is completely blank. The only thing that I know is whether or not it's going to be a heavy song or if it's going to just be mellow. Mm-hmm. And then it just sort of, I don't know, kind of writes itself as you go along. But yeah, I don't have like I don't sit down with the guitar and go, okay, this is a riff that I'm going to use or work out a song that way. Right. Normally I start with the drums first.
Right. Yeah.
And then work around that.
See, that's just, I mean, like, because I mean, you've done live bands before, and like, and I don't remember, those were all originals, weren't there?
Yeah.
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 So,
I started playing live, I want to say back in 99. So I played in and out of live bands for a good 20 years or so.
yeah,
And then, yeah, it
yeah.
was always original. We did some covers, but for the most part, it was original.
And when you would write with those bands, assuming it was collaborative, which I figure it at least partly was, was the process kind of the same? Was it I mean, usually you don't start with drums when you're writing originals with a band anyway.
Um,
So
The band that I was in the longest was called October Frequency.
yeah,
We were together for about 10 years. Oddly enough, I didn't do anything in that band but write lyrics and sing. I didn't do
that's
any
it.
of them. Yeah, that was it.
What do
I
you didn't do
actually
anything?
didn't.
It's like a lot of the stuff. Those are key
Yeah.
things, Richie.
Well, I mean, I didn't, help write any of the music or anything. I actually didn't. Within that time, I really didn't play guitar. I didn't pick the guitar back up until maybe about 2017 and started taking it serious again.
I'm so glad that you did. All right, listen, I'm not going to make anybody wait any longer. We're going to start with the first song on the EP. Talk to me a little bit about Safe.
Well, first off, I sent you a copy of this a while back. It's like a rough draft. I didn't have a title. Like I said, I'm terrible with titles. You wrote back and said that it sounded like Safety. So I was like, okay, cool. There's the name. So thank you.
Oh, I didn't realize okay, because it didn't have a title, so I didn't. Okay, that's very cool. Aw, yay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I have it. I'm wondering how much you changed it, but I have an idea of what it is then. Okay.
This song is, I mean, it's just about wherever your home is, that's your favorite place to be. So that's basically kind of what this is.
Guys, we're going to have to sell Richie because he's not going to sell himself. We're in for a treat. This is the first song off of the Quickie Warwick, no egrets, untitled album by House of Warwick called Safe. Sorry, I was off in space there. I remember the song. It's different. It's definitely different.
Thank you.
Oh, Richie. Wow. I mean, let's get the stuff everybody always says out of the way anyway. All the Bowie, all the David Byrne, all the Peter Gabriel, all the like the Holy Trinity stuff in your music, but I love that you will set a mood immediately. And then at just a dime, it turns into something completely other. It's generally a very different feel, a different mood, but it fits and it all just always works, and I never know how you do that. I never know how you take us from this kind of dreamy, ethereal, kind of quieter feel, and then just all of a sudden there's all this intensity, and I mean, holy shit. Greg, I'm gonna let you while I collect my thoughts, I know you have things to say because it's Richie, so go ahead.
Man, you're unbelievable, man. Like it's like a pleasure to listen to you every time, everything you put out. And
I really do. Thank you.
really, it's and it's exactly what Christina said. The mood, you set a mood, and it's like everyone is just jaw dropping.
But I always love your vocals because there's this nobody sounds like you, and I love when a voice is so distinct. If you're putting stuff up on screen, I'm not even looking right now because I got to collect my thoughts and I can't look and think at the same time. So feel free to put them up, but I'll come back to them again. When a voice is so distinctive, and so immediately, like, one of your songs comes on and like, I'll walk into the kitchen and I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh, Greg's listening to Richie. Or, I'll be listening to you and Greg will be like, oh, Richie, it's not even necessarily a song that the other has heard yet. Although I think by now we've heard everything, but like, we know that it's you, but it also has like, there's this, one of the things that always gets me is that your vocals really make me lean in. Like I want to listen more and I love it because you can hear everything that you're doing. It is clear, but there's this almost trying to catch water feel to them where like and I think it's more of an emotional thing than an auditory one, but I think the way that you mix it and the way that you affect it and everything is so smart because it always it's part of creating that mood. It's part of creating that feeling that I get when I listen to your stuff of just like I'm in something that is straight out of the 70s and I'm in something that's completely modern and I'm in something that I've never heard all at once. It's proggy and it's rock and it's whatever. And then you like lay in with the guitar and that bass. Oh my God. Like that was reminding me of there's a particular Gabriel song that I'm losing the name of right now, but where it's very much about the bass, especially at the end. And I was just like, oh, it's doing the thing. Let me read. Hi, Caspian says, this is awesome. I agree. More. Now I'm ready for the chat. Gregather. Tracy says, wow, subtlety. Joey, he's so fucking good, man. I cannot argue with that. The bass is singing. See, Craig would know, but yeah. Steven says, Richie is so inspirational to me. Thank you, brother. I know that's high praise. Dre says, Richie is like the Robert Palmer of Prague.
That's
wow. Perfect. I like that. That's pretty cool. Leave it to Dre to just.
Dre's awesome.
See, and Mike too, the bass line is so killer. It really. So the bass line, that came after drums. Was that the next thing that came after you laid down the track for the drums? Or
normally the bass is the last. Most of the time, the bass is the last thing that I'll put on there.
So even for this one,
yeah, it's generally drums and guitar and then synth and figure out where everything's going, vocals, and then the bass is normally last.
Vocals and then the bass. Okay, so is that so that you know where not to step?
I don't know. That's just how I do it.
I every time I try to ask you about your music, you're basically just like,
I
mean, it just happens to you, I guess.
It's tangled wires up here and squirrels and that sort of thing.
There's gnawing on it. Okay, wait. Justin Storm Kingdom says Shred Master. Joe Boo said something, but I missed it. It was probably good though. Regather, amazing. Yes, it was good. Okay, figures. What else did I miss? We'll give more flowers to Richie for this. Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
Aw, hi, Dawn. It's good to see you again. Says Richie lets his music come to life. He connects with it on a deeper personal level and then lets it become its own entity. That's his brilliance and special gift. Well, Dawn's not fucking around. She's totally right about that. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I just, it's.
Hey, Tim.
How do you? Oh, Tim says Richie has always been the best writer I know. Love all his music. Yeah, I agree with that one too. Do you categorize yourself anywhere musically? You don't, right? You really can't, can you?
There's only a couple of genres that I'm not too big into, but I just love music. I'm big into the 80s new wave, post-punk, punk rock, metal, R&B. I freaking love the 70s R&B. It's kind of, I don't know, everywhere. And that's one of the things that I am always trying to do is see if I can't squash a bunch of that all together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I think from everything I've heard, it works. Okay, and then here comes Christy with the self-flagellation that is her brand. Suddenly, anything I've ever done is no longer good enough. Damn, Richie rocks. There you go.
She is awesome.
Fire, shut up. You have to stop dinging yourself. Joey, Freaky Things loves up the bass. Guitar said, hold my beer. Steven says, simply a pleasure to listen to. And Richie is the master, according to Joe Boo. There you go. The Boo thinks you're the mood master. Peter Gabriel, Tracy hears it too. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first conversations that Greg and I, look at this. You're apparently the master of mood is your thing now. Nate, hi Nate. Bond of Iniquity says, man, you level up constantly. Really cool to watch. It's true. And Dawn says, also awesome. Son and I are watching this together now. Very exciting. Loving this Cure plus Depeche Mode sound. That there was more that I didn't see, but I'm sure it was great. Cool. Thank you, Dawn. Sound with the incredible guitar on top is epic. Thank you. I read quickly, baby, but holy shit. Let me get to the end of a sentence. But I remember early on, because I'm obsessed with A Wave of Knives. I'm obsessed with it. Richie did a collab with Aubrey Britt Bailey from the Wormwood Project months back, and last year at this point. But and I've been obsessed with it, obsessed with it. I listen to it multiple times every week still, and it was one of those things of again, you cannot say this is a blank song. This is it's a Richie song, and also in that case, an Aubrey song. And I think that's it with you, is that the genre doesn't matter anyway, because it just sounds like you. It's a House of Warwick song anytime you hear anything. And it's amazing to me, because especially with the stuff that you're doing, now collaboratively and stuff, and the way that you're stretching, and I'm not going to say anything because I don't know what details are meant to be public and what aren't, but hearing about that from you, I'm like, okay, now he's going to do one of these. Now he's going to do this kind of a song. So I can't wait. But speaking of not waiting, I want to get to the next one, because people are going to shoot me if I don't. Second song on the EP called Best Wish. What I'm not sure I'm going to get much more of a story than I did on Safe, but do you have anything to say about this besides, well, the music gods came into my brain and laid an egg and then it turned into this. But it started with the drum. That's pretty much it. No.
In a nutshell, the lyrics on this one, earlier this summer, me and Catherine, we were actually with Dawn and Son. We were just hanging out down in downtown Athens and walking around and doing our thing. And as we're walking down the street, I realized, well, hey, me and Catherine have been together for 22, 23 years now. And, we're still holding hands in public. And I thought that was kind of cool. And that's kind of what this song is. It's just, she's my best wish.
Mm-hmm. Richie's wife is as great as Richie. I can tell you this right now. She's gorgeous, first of all. She is one of the kindest, sweetest people. She's smart as shit. She's super talented. This photograph, one of many, this is a powerhouse couple. So I love that this is a cat song, Richie. I love it. Let us premiere for the world Best Wish by House of Warwick. Richie's bobbing along. Wait, can you put the visualizer back up for a second? Because before we get to the song, I want to make sure that people get to really, well, I guess they've been looking at it, but that photo is just so beautiful. You're not gonna pull it up for me, are you? Are you, motherfucker?
Off the music again.
Oh no, what a hardship that would be. All right,
it.
fine. Don't do it. But it is so beautiful. And I love that. Totally different from the first one, right? So we're already in a completely different mood. I love that that's a love song that, if you're not paying attention, doesn't sound like a love song, in the sense of just musically, it's funky. It's got you want to dance to it, you move to it. It's very upbeat and joyful, but like it's more interesting than a lot of the love song stuff that tends to come out. And I love that. I love the story there in the lyrics of just, everybody else is disconnecting, looking at their phones, whatever, and I'm reaching for your hand. And like that, that there's presence in that love. And it's just so beautiful. But fuck. And I love what you do with the synth. You did it in Safe too, where there will be these little things that you drop. And it just, again, I am always hesitant to compare too much, but like, it's one of the things I love the most about, like, Peter Gabriel or David Bowie, where you just hear one little thing, even in the background, it's almost, buried in the mix, but it changes the whole feel of the thing, where you have these little beep in there and out.
Yeah,
and
you get the highs. The highs are high and the lows are low.
Yeah.
And everything else. And it's just, there's so much texture. It's amazing.
But it's not overdone too, which is the thing, because since you're sparing with it all, the impact is bigger. So when it comes in, and there was a point at which the first time the synth came in and kind of pulled one of those little celestial shooting star moments in there, that's when I started to smile, because it's hearing you talk about it, like I could picture it, like a couple that's still in love after so many years, walking down the street and then just seeing the world more clearly and more beautifully because of the person that was there with them. And like, every time you throw something in sonically, it's like seeing a different thing. And I love that. See, Joey says it. You will listen again and hear something new every time. Killer work. That's it. And it's true. You don't catch it all on the first listen or the first couple of listens.
That's what I'm aiming for, so thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Tracy, again, the vocals, especially for me, always very Bowie, but there's that otherworldly kind of quality to it. Steven says, hell of a love song, mate.
Thank you, Steven.
Mate. What else we got? Joe Boo, Richie, you inspire and amaze him, brother.
You
love the album cover. Yeah, Joey loves the album cover too. I don't know I think you were here, Joey, that Kat took that picture. Storm Kingdom Justin loves the flow of the music. Yeah, I mean, like Joey wants to borrow. You guys should just do like a Freaky Friday swap. Literally Freaky Friday. Justin says Guitar Jedi. Ooh, I like that.
Dude, I wish. You're
Joe
awesome.
Boo says awesome transitions, so diverse and intricate. Afira. Okay, let me push. Okay, she did not insult herself. I will read it. Oh my God, when that guitar comes in, it's so different from the rest of the songs. It's genius. And so clean. My God. Yeah, that's it. It's and that's the thing. It's, I can't even say you never do what I expect, because you are one of the few musicians that I come to clean of expectation, because I really literally know no idea what you're going to do from song to song. Like, I can't sit there.
but I mean, at the same time, I do want to try to throw the listener off a little bit. I mean,
yeah, but it's not jarring, which is the trick, because sometimes people will do that and you're just like, what the fuck is it? It's like in what, Come On Eileen, where all of a sudden like it slows down and everyone loves that part because it works.
Yeah.
But then you have shit that people will throw in and you're like, wow, did somebody else just like
I'm sure that I've done that before.
You've done what?
I'm sure I've done that before too, where it's like, what the
I haven't heard it. Craig is saying, really digging the overall song. Could see this as a montage featuring pictures of his wife, because she's his best wish and a fun, full of life person that just matches this vibe. Yeah, I mean, and it's great to have a love song that isn't stereotypical. Aw, there's Dawn. Kat Bestie, she loved the intro and is so grateful to know you both and see your great destined love story up close. Sweet nostalgic sound, very old school Richie vibe. Yeah, I just I love that. And I again, it every time I listen, I focus on a different part. And I think that's part of what Joey means too about, that every time you listen to something else because I'll listen once and I'll hear the bass and then I'll listen again and I'll go, "Oh, wait, I didn't notice the synth was doing this." And I listen again and then I'm on the vocals and the lyrics and like it's just I love that you are undefinable. You're not even genre promiscuous. You're kind of genre I don't know. Tom McElman said it really well, like genre agnostic. Tracy from Subtlety says that the depth is amazing. Dawn says sensational sound really reminds her of some of your older music, very intense, always epic.
Thank you.
Dawn is the 411. Dre says sophisticated and abstract love songs are a huge weakness for him. Okay, who knew that was an entropy Achilles heel? Dame, hello, my sweetheart, says Richie is a fucking beast on guitar. Yeah, Richie, you don't think so, though. We have this conversation from time to time, and you don't think so. Why don't you think so?
What, on the guitar?
Yeah. Like, what's your fucking problem, man? Like, why don't you get it?
There are some freaking amazing guitarists.
Yes.
Yes, you included.
Yes.
I'm all right. I do some unexpected things here and there, but I'm not nowhere near as phenomenal as some of these people like Chucky, for example, and Freaky Things. I mean, my God.
Who also doesn't think he's a musician. So we
Yep. Those are master Jedi guitarists.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to take the compliment and just wrap it up real small and just just take it, Richie. Take it. Do we have anything? Drill him. Yes. I mean, okay. I'm not going to spend too much time. See, thank you, Craig. Agreeing with Greg and everyone else that you are one of them. No, look, I mean, I get it that especially for people, any kind of artist who isn't sitting down and planning what they do. I get it. I understand that this is sort of like a deus ex machina stuff with you where you just kind of sit down and you have these ideas and they come to you. I've also seen it's not like you just sit down and it's easy peasy, though. You sit there and you go and you refine and you come back and you change. So it's not like you're not doing work. This doesn't just get dumped into your lap. But I understand where you might not feel like it's as hard fought as some other musicians that we talk to, but it doesn't lessen the excellence or the skill. So shut the fuck up, Richie. Right up there on the guitar. Yeah, see, look, I mean, I'm just going to let the chat fight you for me. It's Mortal Kombat here. I'm just going to let the comments come in and then I'm going to finish you with my move at the end. Joe says you are very reminiscent of Tony McAlpine, utterly unique and special. I don't know who that is. Where is he from, Richie? Tony McAlpine?
I don't know.
You don't know either? Joe, who is that? You've been telling him he's reminiscent of somebody and we don't know who it is. Tony McAlpine sells quesadillas in Brooklyn. He's a really nice guy. No, I don't know. Who is he? Joe Boo.
He's an American musician.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's best known as an instrumental rock and heavy metal solo guitarist.
Okay, so he's not affiliated with a band.
All right. Well, I will go and check that out.
Thank you,
Planet X, Ring of Fire, Seven the Hard Way. Those are the bands.
Okay. Planet X is the name I know, but okay. All right. I thought you said Rain of Fire for a second. I'm like, is Joe Boo I'm like, I know who's in Rain of Fire and there's no Tony McAlpine. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Joe's followed him for 25 years. So there you go. Cool. And Burlow says guitar from the soul is Richie. There you go. And Richie would love Tony McAlpine. All right. You got to listen to him. That's it, Richie. We have homework now. See, there you go. Of course, Dre would know. It's Drakepedia. So there you go. Oh my gosh. And Steve Vai's touring band. Okay. We could have just gone to entry. Yeah, he's okay on guitar. People I've heard him mentioned once or twice as being a semi-decent guitarist. So, Dawn is you gotta get Dawn to do your marketing, Richie. Richie can play guitar beyond the level professionals aspire to. His self-study of the instrument has made him astounding, and I have seen this live in person. Y'all be jealous. We are, Dawn. Way to rub it in, Dawn. I can tell you all right now, this is making Richie intensely uncomfortable and itchy in his pants. He's itchy Richie right now. There's Chucky. There's Chucky. Chucky, maybe if you tell Richie he's a really good guitarist, he'll listen to you. All right. Okay. I will stop making you uncomfortable. We're going to move forward to song 3. A title I love, Walking the Ghosts. Now, knowing your predilection for all things spooky season, I'm not surprised to see the word ghosts in one of your titles, but what is Walking the Ghosts about? What's the backstory?
Regret when you lose, everybody's lost somebody to something of some sorts, and I think it's human nature to go through that whole deal with the grief process of and questioning yourself. What is it you could have done at that time to maybe the outcome different.
Okay. So it's about grief and also guilt a little bit, or at least.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Let us debut House of Warwick, Walking the Ghosts.
I walk around with you in my head. Sometimes I think you can hear me. I keep on driving straight ahead just to get away from the moments. So that put you out of sight. Running after hill makes me feel like a job chasing fireflies. As I catch the light, it burns away there in my head. I hate that you miss it. I hate that I miss you. I love you forever. I never understand why you self-meditated. Running after hill makes me feel like a job chasing fireflies. As I catch the light, it burns away there in my head. I walk around with you in my head. Sometimes I think that you can hear me. I keep on driving straight ahead to get away from all the moments that slow and put you out of sight. I'm still haunted.
Bridge got me. Yeah. Okay. Honey, you want to take it for a second?
Those rhythms, man, and oh my god, just the changes, the way the dynamics you put into this music is just astounding. I mean, like that's what makes it, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
My brain is messed up. That's all I can.
It's fantastic.
Straight up.
Oh man, that bridge. I mean, I have to cry on every one of these now. Apparently, it's like a thing. But that.
Trying to make you cry. I'm not trying to make you cry. Sorry.
You didn't have to try. No, because I. I feel the cadence of that grief, and I love that you captured that sometimes it's so loud, and it's chaotic, but in this controlled way where you can still kind of pack it back up at the end and put it down for a while. And I loved that imagery of catching the light in your hand and it just burns away, and the idea that you're calling something that's so dark a light, which is already brilliant because it changes the meaning of the thing. Chasing fireflies is supposed to be this happy, summertime kid thing or whatever. And it's just, you turned it into this kind of ephemeral thing where, when you get what you wanted, it kind of destroys it, and so I was already in that. And then you have that first change where everything gets very, this for me is the most Warwicky of the three so far, because it has all of the elements that I always associate with you, where it's emotional, but it's also cerebral, and that's in the music too. And I understand that lyrically. I understand being able to do that lyrically, to articulate something intelligently that's so emotionally wrought, but to be able to do both cerebral and passion and intensity emotionally, musically, that's very difficult. And when we got to that bridge, and I felt like you pulled the rug out from under me, and it was just the emotion of it, the raw emotion of it, and it got quiet, and it just, as I always say, if I had hair on my arms, it would be standing up, and it got me, and I was stuck in that moment, and again, what is that? I was so in it that I couldn't really focus. What is that? It almost sounded like a muted jazz trumpet or something at the end. What was that you put in there? You know what I'm talking about? Just like in the last 30 seconds of the song.
That was my vocals, and then I knocked up the octave and then ran it backwards and put a couple of effects on it.
Oh, no kidding. That kind of but that thing in there, that was your vocal. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me God, I love that, Richie. That one, I love them all. That's my favorite so far. That one, that fucking just punched me right in the teeth. Let me see the comments because I haven't been looking.
I was worried about.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. No, and I love that you. I'll get to the comments in a second, honey. Sorry, it's just like so much. My brain is like, blah, 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 and say this and say this and say, but I'm like still. So, I love that you bookended the lyrics, and I love the way that you changed the prosody in it too. That it went from being this almost sort of halting confessional thing to this stream of consciousness at the end, and even accenting different parts of different words on different syllables, and it just kind of ran together, and it just made the whole thing, it made it feel like grief. It made it feel like, okay, you're sort of tentatively acknowledging that you're in that emotional space, and then you're sort of working your way through it, and then it hits you, and then the bottom drops out, and then you start to figure out a way to kind of get yourself back to where you started so that you can put it down and walk away from it for a little while. That I'm gonna have to listen to that one a lot to process that one. Brilliant. Okay. What is the always hilarious chat saying, my love? Leanhorn, hi, Leanhorn says juxtaposed beat was striking. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite things. Richie does that a lot. And he also will add in an extra measure or two just when you think it's going to go back to the verse. And there's a little moment before that. And I always love that. What did Dame say, honey? Crazy tonal choice. Yeah, that's another Richie signature. That's the stuff I mean when I say it has like the Warwick stuff. See, Chucky, complicated choices for chords.
Chucky,
so there you go.
Guitar Jedi. I cannot wait until their EP comes out.
I know. We're waiting. Well, they'll have their show too. And Freaky just says fuck. And okay, Dame also says Jesus fuck. So there you go. Sorry, Jesus. Joe Boo says wow. Leeds fucking McGee over here. I like that, Leeds McGee. Yeah, I feel he is pretty good on the guitar, Joey. I concur. I think the chap has something there. Joe says killer changes. Yep, that's another Warwick signature. Like Sting meets Alex Skolnick.
That's cool.
Wow.
Who's Alex Skolnick?
He's the guy that helps make the quesadillas with
Yes.
Tony McAlpine. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
they're
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, and Sting is another
Tasty.
one. Sting is
Everybody's
another
Googling.
one that I. Go ahead, Richie. Go ahead.
Everybody's all Googling for Alex.
Craig is going to Google for Alex too. Wait, we saw that one. What? Listen to the polyrhythms going on. Another Richie Warwick signature.
Dre, he's another one that just blows me away every time.
Dre, I know.
I hear anything
You
from-
turn
God.
this into everybody else's show, Richard. Go back to what Dame said, honey. I didn't see it. He could cut off 4 of his strings and literally no one would ever know. Fuck you, Dame. Shut up. No. Such expression in your changes, Richie. That's very well said, Stephen. Cat, hi, Cat. She likes this. It captures the tension and turmoil and the range of emotions. Very well said. And that's another very talented person saying that. Craig, the 3 Bravo, the emotions are 100% felt, both vocally and instrumentally, walking through this himself the last year and change. And it's exactly this, needed this today. Craig, you have nothing to feel guilty for, honey. I know, but you don't. Joe Boo loves this guitar work. Loves it. The guitar work that you don't think is so great. Mike Mechanic A says this fucking rocks. He loves all your work, but the tunes you have similar to this is why he fell in love with your work. Yeah, again, that's I understand that very well. But it's also great to see all the other things that you can do. You know, either you got to fly over there or Steven's got to swim over here because he wants a beer and a chat. We got
Come
that.
hang out with me, Steven.
Yeah, if you come here, we're all over here, Steven. Afira, all right, hold on. Let me self-deprecation check this. Nothing. Okay, the crazy syncopation in the verses sounds like it's some odd time signature, but it's just 4/4, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 4/4.
Tis. But you do that a lot. Oh, Tim says Richie was in his first band when you were kids, and he was a badass guitarist then. There you go. I love
Tim's
this.
a
Tim
great-
and Dawn are like holding it down with the past Richie life. Tim's great
They've
too. You said.
known them for a long time. Thank you for coming.
And Dawn says each song is a journey and adventure, and of course, brilliant. Yeah. So that kind of stuff, Richie, the polyrhythms, the way that you're playing with the syncopation, the way that you're playing with even just 4/4, like, is that something that you? I know what I'm going to hear from you, but like, is any of that intentional, or is this also just stuff that your brain makes happen and doesn't tell you how?
It's intentional. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of electronica too, you know?
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite guitarists is Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth. And now he doesn't do complicated rhythms like that, but he thinks outside the box.
Mm.
Some of it, yeah. And before I stopped playing live, I think the last band that I was in, it was like a surf horror nerd punk band, Astro Phantom.
Which
has
a Facebook page, guys.
It does. I don't know if you can find any music on it.
I don't think there's much of anything now, but it's there.
2016, and there toward the end of it, we lost our bass player, so I started playing bass, and then I really started taking the bass kind of very serious, and then jumped back on the guitar. So sometimes I kind of wonder if, when I am playing guitar, if I'm sort of approaching it
from a bass standpoint.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That fits. And I because it's such a hallmark of your stuff, you know? And so the idea that, I mean, I could see it both being something that you sit there and plan, although knowing you as well as I do, I tend to think that's generally less the case with pretty much everything you do, that it's thoughtfully planned, because I know you too well, but you know, that it just, you know, it's something that you do so well. And it is something that so many people, apparently not just I, associate with you. Wait, what did Dre say? So I was curious about that. He says he would love to hear you on an 8-string. Okay, did you ever play an 8-string or a bass 6?
No,
Richie?
I haven't. I mean, I don't. That seems like a lot of strings. I may get lost with that, but it sounds like fun.
Just play every other one.
I'll go to a music store or something and see if they've got an 8-string, see what I can do. That seems like trying to play like a 2x4. I mean, the neck's got to be like
I don't know. I want a Entropy and House of Warwick collab that's like entirely the most strings you can get on every instrument involved. Knee alert. The knees, I think the knee's been up. I think the knee has been up pretty much since we started. Okay, was there anything else that people wanted to say about Walking the Ghosts before we move on to, sadly, the last song? No. How can it be the last song? We're already here. It's not long enough. Richie, you gotta make a 34 song album. Just
We'll
you know,
just put
for
all
me.
of them together. Okay. Well, they'll be 1 minute long. How about that? We'll keep it to 34.
No. Oh no, you suck. No, the caveat is they all have to be at least 3.5 minutes. I'm requiring that of you. Okay, so
Now,
we've
that is
had
one
Steve.
thing that is one thing that I intentionally did with this. I thought more about the time. Before, I didn't think anything about that. So if it was 4 minutes, it's 4 minutes. If it's 5, it's 5. This
Okay.
one, I was very conscious about. I'm trying to keep them down to about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes tops.
Yeah, you had said that to me before, like when you were still whatever, and I don't think I asked you then, but I will now. Why?
Mainly because, like, okay, so the community's awesome, and everybody has, you've got EWL, you've got you guys, we've got all these playlists that we're doing. I don't want to take away any time from anyone, so I want to keep it down as to something.
Okay. Richie, I love you. That's very sweet. Please don't make music to fit between commercial breaks. Like, make whatever
Just
you
like-
want to make.
My God.
We'll play a 7-minute song by you. We have no problem with that. You're not wrong. And also, I mean, look, let's be real. The human attention span has gotten about as small as it's ever been, I think, at this point. And so there is something to be said for brevity in terms of anything these days and keeping people engaged, but then just make more of them. Just make 500 3.5-minute songs, and and then I'll be happy. I think that would tide me over for a little while. I'm not asking for much, Richard, really. I mean,
Well, I'm sure I'll start working on something again pretty soon.
see, Steven says a 15-minute song by you would be on his playlist. I hear you. We'll just do a whole electronica engineers, and it'll just be you and one other song. That's it.
In the recording process, you have to hear your song so many freaking times. If I did a 15-minute song, if I had to hear that over, that might be the breaking point. I might.
That's true. We don't want to scare him off of music entirely, Steven. I still just I remember a very early conversation we had, and you talking about
concept album, so they all run together.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
The concept is that all the songs have to be 15 minutes long. That's the concept. No, but I
find concept albums to be something hard to do. I've thought about that myself, and it's like I really appreciate people who can do that and they do it well. To me, it seems difficult to keep that same topic.
Well, and I think it's kind of antithetical to the way that you generally tend to make music. Where it isn't necessarily like you've sat down and you've got this plan or whatever. Like, I mean, you could throw together some of your songs from different albums and make a concept album out of them, like things that are generally about Cat and you or whatever. Like, you could do that. You have grief songs, you have regret songs. You could jury rig that in retrospect, but yeah, you're sitting down and going, I think I'm going to make a Rain of Fire album, or I'm going to, like, I don't think that's usually how you go.
They're really good at that. I don't know if I could do that or not. If I did do one, I would want it to be about alien abduction. That would be cool.
Okay,
but
we could play it after the His Theory album, and then we could make a concept box set or something. We have space and then alien abduction. We would be good. Somebody just said something else. What was it, dear? Before we move on. Yeah, you could just do a shit cookies. It doesn't have to be long. Dawn says, really, Richie, don't ask him. Just hand him the instrument. I've seen him play anything he picks up, and he's awesome at it. But if it has strings, he always kills it. There you go. You and a lute. That's my next thing. I want you and a lute. Okay. All right. So we've heard Safe. We've heard Best Wish. We've heard Walking the Ghosts. Talk to me a little bit about Reading Tea Leaves.
This song is, it's like everybody gets into those situations to where like a crisis sort of just falls and out of the blue, hits them. And I think before you can get your feet back on the ground, everybody's got that wishful thinking thing going on. Like if, I don't know, dude buddy loses his job and on the way home he stops by the store and gets a lotto ticket or something, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of about that. The chorus is definitely influenced by the whole 1920s spiritualism deal that went on for a while. You know, people reading tea leaves and seances and that's, you know, because I mean it's kind of the same thing. You know, back then that was really popular, and today buying lotto tickets is it's just the same idea.
Yeah, and that Miss Cleo had her day too. I think people are always looking for the quick fix. So I hear you. Okay. All right. I'm so sad to say this is the last of the tracks on the EP, but we're going to enjoy the shit out of it. House of Warwick, Reading Tea Leaves.
Die on a good day as a good man. If life could come down to very few words, as if every mistake could spread like butterfly wings and make sense of yesterday. Like reading tales in a desperate situation, looking for a signpost when you're lost out in the labyrinth, holding on to the postcard before stepping over the edge. But in the end, it's the fool's heart that makes every story worth the tale. Just another uncomfortable thought that seems just a bit flawed in the heart of all things human to me. Collect our bones and frame them round. We're all just memories now. Like reading tales in a desperate situation, looking for a signpost when you're lost out in the labyrinth, holding on to the postcard before stepping over the edge. But in the end, it's the fool's heart that makes every story worth the tale. Like reading tales in a desperate situation, looking for your signposts when you're lost out in the labyrinth, holding on to the postcard before stepping over the edge. But in the end, it's the fool's heart that makes every story worth the tale. But in the end, it's the fool's heart. It's the fool's heart. I've got a fool's heart.
Oh man, I love that at the end. I was not expecting any vocal to come back. That was a great way to finish it. That riff is so Police. I love it. It reminds me, not derivative, it reminds me of like Walking on the Moon. But it's like if somebody said, take Walking on the Moon and turn it into a new wave song, Message in a Bottle. Yeah, that too. But way better. Yeah, see, Mike and I have the same brain on that one. The mixing is phenomenal. I meant to say this earlier, but I could say it about literally every song I've ever heard you do, which is, I think at this point, all of them now, that we're caught up with this one, is that one of the things that I also think of as emblematic of your music is that you pay as much attention to the interstitials, like pre-verse and pre-chorus, as you do to every other part of the song. And like, it's astounding to me that sometimes there are moments that are at least as powerful as anything you're doing in the meat of the song. The chorus, usually, obviously, the big thing, everybody's whatever, like, and you do it. And it was so noticeable here, just before you went into the second verse, just the little ways that you play around with it, the little things that you drop, the little percussive things, the little synth things, the little bit. And I love that there's not a moment or a second in any of your songs that just feels like it's utilitarian to get you to the next part of the thing. They're like, okay, yeah, most songs don't do that. Most songs aren't as willing to upend themselves constantly as you do with pretty much everything. It's like you're almost allergic to having, it's not structure, because you absolutely have structure, but you do not want at any point for the listener to have the song figured out. And I love that. And I love that it is from the beginning of the song to the end of it. I don't know where you're going. And it keeps me so curious, because usually by the time you get through the first chorus, you've heard everything but the bridge. You're good. You know what the song is. It's like, okay, we're going to do another one of these and another one of these. And then there's going to be something in the middle with a solo. And again, you have the structure, but like that ending, and a lot of times where things will be expected to get bigger, you make them smaller. Sometimes when you're expecting things to stay quiet, they get loud, and there's a jarring, not that it doesn't fit, but like it's meant to be an emotionally jarring thing, like wake the fuck up, we're at a different thing here, we're going somewhere else. And it's funny because the lyrics don't even clue you in all the time. Sometimes something where lyrically I would expect traditionally the music to be one thing, you're like, you know what though, but I'm going to do this. And I love every bit that. Just, I mean, it was really catchy. It was, it was really good, but your music makes me think about your music. Like any one song I listen to makes me think about everything I've heard you do. And I love that because it's like, I feel like your concept album is everything you've ever made. And it's just the concept of Richie's building a puzzle and every song is a piece and it is upside down and we have no idea what the fucking picture on the front of it is, but at some point we'll get there and it's probably just a picture of you going like I don't know, but I love that it's and whether I end up crying or pontificating in this sort of meta way is like from song to song, and that's what you do. I was all in my feelings with Walking the Ghosts, and I felt this too, but I just started going, wow, and he just did, and then I heard, and then but then the vocal came, and then I start thinking of, okay, he does this here, and he does this on this one, and I don't know. I'm not making any sense, Richie, but I think maybe you know what I'm saying. Let's see what the crowd has to say, because it's probably more articulate at this point than I'm being.
I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I really don't.
Okay, well, Joe said, "Oh yeah," so he's gone full Kool-Aid guy on this. Freaky loves the vocals. Yeah, vocals great. Reminds Joe of Saga. At first, I thought that said,
yeah, apparently it's a Canadian band.
Canadian band, eh?
Cool.
Yeah, kind of like Sting. I love that the Americans said it was like a Canadian band, and the Canadians said that it was like an English band. Okay, we're getting Bowie. Yeah, I mean, definitely more Bowie. We have 2 votes for Bowie. I vote for Richie. Craig is loving the bass a lot. Great work. Yeah, bass is huge in all of these. Joe loves the jangly guitar. Hi, Glenda. Glenda, now that I know who Glenda is. Hi, Glenda. Nice to see you again. Loves the vocals on this. I'm not going to tell the Glenda story. It's not mine to tell. Yeah, see, Leanhorn says I'm thinking Warwick more than Bowie. Right. It's like,
Oh,
it's
cool.
like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks,
And
man.
then Chucky, double dipping here, says this is really cool. Great Sonics. Anything
Thank you.
else? Richie has a unique sound for sure, says Freaky Things. You never know what you will get. It's like a Forrest Gump thing. That's his favorite, Joe Boo, reading tea leaves. That's Joe's favorite. Such a cool, Glenda. Such a cool new romantic sound with a darkness. Okay. I like it.
Awesome.
Okay. Craig hears Queensryche. Craig hears a little Jeff Tate vocals in there. Look at that. I have not heard anyone say that before. Okay, this is also Chucky's favorite. Joe Boo and Chucky vote for reading tea leaves. I'm fighting on Walking the Ghosts. I'm going on that one, but I love them all. So Joey says vocals are top notch on this one. Okay, Leanhorn's wife says The Cure. Yeah, I get some Cure feels from that one too.
Okay.
And then fuck yeah again. And Dre, great closer. It's funny. I would love to see Dre sit down and dissect everything that you do. Because I wish that I had more of a musical encyclopedic vocabulary like Dre does to describe you.
That's how I feel.
What?
I wish I could express how amazing your music is. I just don't have the vocabulary for it.
Yeah, no, but it's like, and I know that it's just
I
so
don't
funny.
either with
I was
anyone
just
else.
yeah, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean,
I mean, I think that's talent, that you're not sitting there and thinking all this through and sort of diagramming your musical sentence. But like, somebody else, I think I saw John Nguyen had reminiscent of Catherine Wheel sound. Cool. I don't know who Catherine Wheel is. Who's Catherine Wheel? Do you know, Richie?
yeah,
You do? Not gonna tell me them.
kind of more popular back in the 90s or whatnot. Check it out though, you'll like it.
Okay. Chucky wants to know if you will mix the Freaky Things EP. I thought it was done, Chucky. What the fuck? You guys will have to have that conversation. Dawn especially loves the gore ground vocals. It really showed off the brilliance of your voice. Just yay.
Thank you.
Foreground vocals. I was like, what are goreground vocals? I don't know. I usually like to try and fix those, but I thought it was just something I didn't know about. Sorry, Dawn. Foreground vocals. Yeah. I mean, are you satisfied? Because I know, hey, there's Frank from Vox and Sticks says guitar sounds great, loves the effects.
Thank you.
Frank loves his effects. So, and Joe Boo says brilliant musicianship, pristine production, totally pro. Chucky, great song. Can't wait to listen in the car tomorrow. Yeah, the car test. Okay, hold off for a second, honey. So, and Leanhorn says, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's okay not to know. It's true. And it sounds like that. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just tell people you know, and you're not going to share it with them. That's all. But where are you on the happy scale with this, Richie? Because I know you would endlessly tinker.
These particular songs?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm any different from any other artist, and as far as a musician or whatnot. Everybody's striving to make their, I don't know, dark side of the moon or whatever. So no, I'm definitely not satisfied. I thank you everybody that showed up tonight. Thank you so very much, and thank you guys for allowing me to be on here.
This was such a no-brainer. and what do you mean allowing? I think I begged you to do this with me. I don't think you were like, I was like, I guess we'll do it. I was like, please come on a show and talk, because I know you don't like talking about yourself, which is one of the reasons I like you so much. When the level of talent and the level of humility are matching each other, that's like my favorite thing. So I was not expecting you to sit here and be like, well, when I sat down and I decided to craft this, I didn't think we were going to get that. I was hoping we would not get a fire level like self-flagellation, but Dame wouldn't miss it. Crimson Asphalt is I'm surprised you're not on stage right now, just fucking tearing it up, Dame. Steven says you are such a great musician and human, my friend. Here to that one. Tim wishes he were half the musician you are. Music comes out of everything you touch. Mm-hmm. Orifices too. I don't know, Richie. I'm getting the sense people like you a little bit. Little bit. Are you getting that sense?
Mm.
Are you comfortable taking all of the love for this, even though you're not totally happy with it?
I have a hard time taking compliments or whatnot, but I am very, very, very grateful that everybody's that's on here seems to like it. So thank you so very much.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we could make you intensely uncomfortable with all of our love. That's that feels like a Saturday night success to me. But guys, listen, Safe, Best Wish, Walking the Ghosts, and Reading Tea Leaves, the untitled album. You can call it whatever you want, really. At this point, it's fine. This is Richie's brand new. This link tree is about an hour and 20 minutes old. Sir, Richie, if I fucked anything up, I'll show you how to change it. It was really quick. Joey says he knew this would be so good. He was right as usual. I love how Joey ends up getting a little plug-in for his own omniscience. Go back. There was more to that sentence. Thanks so much for sharing this with us all. Absolutely. And Leanhorn says the thing that was next. Enjoy the applause. Yeah, there you go. I know though. I know you. You're not. You're very self-effacing, but it's really great. Jess loves this and loves you, Richie. Loves you. Burlos Band says love and respect. Chucky says awesome stuff, Richie.
Thanks, man.
So tell everybody like where and your when and all the things so that they can hear it again besides rewatching this.
It's going to drop on the 23rd, which I think is a Monday. And
yes. It is a week from this Monday. So you guys have a while to wait.
Yeah, you got a week.
It'll be Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, yes. Right?
And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Feminoise has a song coming out on the same day too, so that'll be very cool.
We have a lot of songs dropping on that day, yes, and also the album we're here to talk about, which is yours. Richie's like Wonder Woman. Talk about other people. Yes. So listen. So guys, you have a little bit of time to wait. You're gonna have to play this back if you want to hear it again until the 23rd, midnight on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd. You will be able to find it. Fire wants your people to call her people. So, Richie. I adore you and you're one of my just favorites ever. And it's so brilliant. And I like literally now I know us, we're just going to go upstairs and play it and listen to it. It's going to be our bedtime jam. The idea that you were ever thinking of not making any more music, like don't ever do that to me again. Ever. I will come and bite you directly in the face. You can't stop. You cannot deprive the world of it.
You guys keep doing what you do, because you guys are freaking amazing. Everybody knows this. You are the absolute lighthouse of the community. Okay, you guys keep doing what you do, and then I'll keep doing what I do. How about we just say that?
Motherfucker. I know what that's about. We will help everybody as we do, and if it'll keep you making music, that's even more motivation. But thank you for that. But you can't let him just take compliments. He has to give them away. What did Leanhorn say? What did I miss? That looked not Leanhorn. Nice to put a face and voice to the name. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, Leanhorn is coming in hot on the community. So happy to have them around. Burlos Band will start swimming if you stop music. No, that might get him to stop for a little bit so you can come visit Rich, Stephen. That's not the best thing. Yeah, you can't do that. All right, listen. House of Warwick, Monday, September 23rd, midnight. It will be okay, Frank. It will be out everywhere. Until then, you're just gonna have to keep watching this back and listening. You can skip all the parts where I talk. It's only about it's like a 15-minute EP when I'm not here yammering, something like that. Tom, shut up. You're one to talk. Bask in the love, he says. But he's right. I want a Warwick McElman collab.
There we go.
I want that. I know you've been talking about it, but I want
it. At some point, I think it'll happen. I'm down.
I know. I want it. So. I want it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming and celebrating Richie and listening to his new album. And we're always so happy when people come and spend their non-Monday nights with us. Please, please, please pre-save. It's there. You can go to Richie's link tree now, and it'll take you to all of the social media, and you'll have his Facebook page, and the pre-save is there. So please go pre-save it, because that's a thing that you can do. Pre-saving, saving before the save. It's just saving, isn't it? Why do we call it pre-saving?
It's a good question.
Pre-saving would be the thing you do before you save it, wouldn't it be? Like, but anyway, so save it, pre-save it, whatever the fuck. We love you too, Joey. You're shy. Shut up, Tom. Hot Tom. You're too hot to be shy. All right, guys. Dawn says the show. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna read the compliment to us, but thank you, Dawn. That's very sweet. Freaky Things, House of Warwick rocks. Fuck yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. House of Warwick rocks. In the meantime, just go listen to all of Richie's other stuff. You got plenty to listen to. You really do. Guys, that's it. That's another quickie with Vox in the books. We'll see you guys Monday night for a live Vox and guest, and we'll see you next time. Bye.